Hello, this is Miklos Vajna, and in this talk I will talk about recent change tracking improvements in Collabora Online Writer. So I'm one of those who actually live in this city. In case you are lost with something which looks strange in this country, and we have many strange things apart from the language, feel free to grab me and I will try to rescue you. I will cover three subtopics in this lightning talk. It will be about what happens in case you want to record changes to a writer document, and perhaps multiple people are editing the same document, and who should have that recording on and who not, and what to do about this. It will be also covering a recent new UI feature called reinstating a change. And also I will cover at least the start of the work, which is about interdependent changes. So when you have multiple changes on top of each other and what to do about those. For the change tracking recording, we used to have a single setting for this per open document. So you can have two documents open in the same server, and you record changes in one document, but not in the other. But you could not have that setup where multiple users are editing the same document, and you record changes from one user, but not from the other. Sometimes this behavior is fine, and this is exactly what you want. For example, let's say we work together on some proposal, and I was working on that alone. I knew all the content that was in the document because I wrote that, but I invite somebody to make suggestions or like read that, and perhaps they tweak some of the text. And it just occurs to me that at the end, I can predict, at the end they will say that I updated the text, can you please review if you are still happy with that? And this is a document of 20 pages. Of course, I won't know where are the changes, and now I have to read all that text from the start to the end, because I don't know where the changes are. So even with the old model, it was sometimes useful to have it have this recording globally on. I invited somebody to edit the document. As soon as that person joins the document, I will enable a track change recording for everyone. And then once I have the changes from that other person, I can review the changes and see what was changed. So that's nice. But sometimes you don't want this. You can have this situation that somebody is working on the document. I am the second one, or like non-first one, to join the document. I'm not really confident if my changes are okay or not, so I rather make a suggestion. But if I turn it on for everyone, then somebody else was typing, and now, just in a surprising way, the changes started to be tracked, and that's, you did not press any button. What did change? Is this a bug? No, it's not a bug. It's just somebody else by accident enabled track changes recording for everyone. So long story short, this is not always wanted. Sometimes you are happy with the existing behavior. Sometimes you really wanted to have this as a per view setting. So the solution to that is to turn this toggle button into a three state setting, where this recording on a per view basis is still a boolean. Is it off or on? But it can be on for everyone or just for yourself, and then each and every view can have its own setting if you record. The good thing is that deciding if you record or not is doable on a per view basis without like a lot of restructuring of the code. If you would like to have something where even the already created changes would be per view, and you can show if you want to show them or not, that would require a separate layout for the various views. So that would be more complicated. But this one is something which is solving a practical problem and is doable without a large amount of restructuring. So this is something that you can already try out in 2504. It's there, and you can play with that. Now, the second topic I wanted to cover is reinstating of changes. This is a little bit like rejecting a change, but with history. Perhaps it's easier to understand it for deletions. Let's say that there was some content in the document and there is a proposal to delete that. Perhaps the idea wasn't terrible, but it was typed in an angry style and in an offensive style, or there was some problem with that text. So there was a proposal to get rid of that. And what we saw with people editing documents, sometimes they want to make a new proposal to again have that old text in a different version. So they are reinstating what was in the document before the proposal to delete it. And you can work this around. You can reject the deletion. You can make a selection, copy it, then you undo, and then you paste it again. And this is basically how you do this in, for example, Microsoft Word. But we can do it better. Now there is a dedicated button to do this. In case you are on a change of a proposal for insertion or deletion, then you can press that button and you can do the opposite. So if there was a proposal to delete something, you can make a new proposal to still insert it in some other way. And the opposite is true for insertion. The last topic is about interdependent change tracking. We have a number of change tracking types, so you can have insertions, deletions, formatting, and a few more, but I won't talk about those. And there are a number of allowed combinations of these things. We are primarily looking at combinations which are well known in docx files, so that's something that editors probably expect from us to handle. So you can have a deletion on top of a longer insert. You can also have some kind of formatting on top of a proposed insert, and you can also have formatting on top of some proposed deletions. And one thing that was not working is that how this track changes is interacting with undo redo is quite tricky. You expect that whatever you change in the document will be recorded, so you do some edit and some track change will be created. At the same time, you also expect that whatever you did to the document, you can still undo. So to some extent, they do the same thing, but the track changes are serialized to the documents, and undo redo is something that's only in the memory. So they are still separate functionality. And there were some cases in case of having some deletion on top of insert, when if you did enough accept or reject, undo, redo, then it went wrong, and the action and its undo did not result in the very same state. That's now fixed. Also, in case you had some insertion and inside that you had some formatting, then basically this was missing. It was possible to create this, but we could not load that from a docx file. Also, in case you wanted to have, you already had this and you wanted to accept or reject that, then we had cases like you did the accept and the result was not what you got used to in Word. What Word does is, in case there is a formatting and some other type, then Word says that probably the insertion or the deletion is the main action here. Formatting is just a detail. So in case you have both, then you always interact with the insert or delete, and you need a second accept or reject to interact with the formatting itself. And in our case, there are many combinations which we only interact with the top change type, and then we have some surprising behavior. So that's still in progress. Many combinations are working nicely with accept, reject, various change types, undo, redo, and so on. But there is still more to do. So that's probably later this year will be the completion of this. So in summary, there are multiple areas where we are working on improving change tracking for collaborator writer. There is this per view recording, which is very handy in some scenarios. There is this new reinstate feature to reject features with history, to be more polite in your communication. And also the support for this interdependent change tracking is improving. Thanks, that was all.